Welcome to the Property Management Mastermind Show with your host, Brad Larson. Brad owns one of the fastest growing property management companies in San Antonio, Texas. This podcast is for property managers by property managers. You'll hear from industry-leading professionals on best practices, new ideas, success stories, and lessons learned. This is your opportunity to learn about the latest industry buzz surrounding property management, as well as tips and strategies to improve your business. Now here's your host, Brad Larson.
Hello everyone, this is Brad Larson, host of the Property Management Mastermind podcast. To see a complete list of the offers and discounts we have worked to provide, visit our website at propertymanagementmastermind.com. In there you will find additional discounts from Tenant Turner, Citizen Home Solutions, PMW websites, and several others. Also be sure to check out our Seminar and Conferences tab, where we highlight different conferences going around the country, business and property management related. Lastly, be sure to seek out the Facebook group we have started and become a member. In that group, the PM community at large, to include vendors, are welcome to join. Hello everyone, we wanted to offer you a brief introduction to our newest product on the propertymanagementmastermind.com site. It's called the Business Development Toolkit. In 2017, RentWerx organically grew by over 360 plus homes. In 2018, we are on pace to grow another 500 homes. All of this has been without any acquisitions, by going out to meet the people and earn the business one at a time. This toolkit will provide you all the marketing materials, business development scripts, and follow-up plans in a format you can modify and use. The biggest part of this toolkit is we give you the Lead Simple follow-up plan. Now, using Lead Simple as your contact resource management platform, combined with implementing our follow-up plan, will give you a launching pad to build your business. This was over 2 years in the making, pulling bits and pieces from the best companies in the industry. It comes with a 100% money-back guarantee if you are not completely satisfied with this product. Check out our site at propertymanagementmastermind.com to learn more about this new business development toolkit. Hey everyone, this is Brad Larson with the Property Management Mastermind Show. In today's episode, I have Alex Osenenko here from Fourandahalf. And I want to give you a quick little intro to the episode, because what we talk about is his website solutions, their lead capture, their SEO, their KPIs, their quarterly reporting, their mentorship and ability to help you grow your management company. It's a very exciting episode. We tie in the Business Development Toolkit on how you'll actually be able to use that with the Lead Simple CRM platform. So we talk through some of that. We get to hear from one of Alex's staff, Michael. He's going to come in and chime in about how the rent range and RentWerx reports work as far as automated into the system. And you're going to talk pricing. He's going to, give you the full Monty on the pricing side. So it's a really good episode to learn about what Fourandahalf does and who they are. So let's take a listen. And welcome everybody to another episode of the Property Management Mastermind Show. I'm your host, Brad Larson. And today's guest, I have Alex Osenenko coming to us out of Silicon Valley, the man, the myth. So we all know him as Fourandahalf. He's that short little Russian guy that we see running around the booths at Northam. And he's also doing presentations and talks, and he's running PM Grow Summit. So I'm really excited to have him on, because what we want to talk about today is websites, lead generation, lead capture, basically a way to build business. And so nobody else, I thought, could be a better expert than Alex, because he's been basically running a marketing company for property managers for years. And so Alex, without further ado, I want you to kind of introduce us and talk us through some of this stuff.
Hey man, Brad, it's great to be here. Appreciate the invitation. Always good to chat with you. I do contend the description. By the way, nice job on pronouncing the last name. But as far as short, I don't know, average sized. That's kind of where I fit in.
Yeah, I come at you as a 6'3", gigantic, fat guy. So it's I can see where you're right there, man. You're good.
I'm right in the middle of the pack. Yeah, so it's great to be here. So Fourandahalf, quick story, if I may, very, very sort of succinct. Started in 2012, January 1st, with the mission and idea that there's a better way to market a property management business, except just stumbling around and having to explain that you need owners versus tenants to just about every agency out there, because nobody really understands this business that well. Well, fast forward, 8 years, almost 8 years. We're going to celebrate 8 years on January 1st. And Fourandahalf, we got nominated for Inc. 5000, fastest growing companies in the U.S. I'm going to take a second and get a little plaque. Look, those of you folks watching on video, it's number 1336. I mean, it's not 1, it's not 10, but hey, it's top 25%. Let's call it.
Well done.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, it's been a pleasure. And this is all about delivering outcomes for our customers, right? This is marketing and growth is a central part of the business, Brad. You know that. You've earned your place in this podcast and an authority in this industry because you were able to grow your business so successfully. I mean, is that right?
Sure, we have been. And a lot of it's attributed to the methods and techniques that we've learned from you guys.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And so the key factor, if you're not growing, you obviously are, you're dying because the attrition is catching up, especially past the recent, 4 or 5 year sell-off. A lot of people lost a lot of business. But if you actually, I'm using Jordan Morley's term here, operationalize your marketing and your sales, all of a sudden, now you have a reliable, consistent growth machine that's going to be worth millions of dollars when you're done, when you're ready to exit. Because I tell you what, Brad, valuations, you see behind me, there's a lot of math. I know I'm not gonna like push it onto your audience here, but the valuations of a property management business are growing. Do you agree with me?
I agree with you because we're seeing a lot of the Wall Street money come in. They're seeing the value of what they call MRR, monthly recurring revenue. And the management companies have that down. I mean, it's been a secret science there for decades. But now the big players are starting to see that as an alternative to real estate because we're all starting to kind of feel the shift coming on. Rumors yesterday, I was talking to Scott Brady and, California is already starting to see a little bit of a correction. I don't want to say shift. I don't want to say recession. I will just say correction. And so anything that happens on the West Coast always bleeds east to the rest of the country. And so it's going to be funny. You're going to see one of a couple different things. So I'm getting off on a tangent now, but what's going to happen is you're going to see a lot more realtors get into the business and making more headway into the management side. And I say realtors, I'm talking big organizations like Keller Williams. They're getting into the management play, allegedly. I haven't seen it yet, but they're talking about it. Along those same lines, you're seeing an opportunity for management companies to grow because when a recession comes, the sales slow. And everybody in management starts getting those reluctant landlords and they're getting those opportunities where people start buying foreclosures and flips and all this other stuff. So almost in every case, the management companies that are well run will rise to the top. I mean, some would say that you might even double in a regular recession, not a end of the world TFU fan, what that acronym. If it's a regular kind of like just a setback, management companies are going to double in size. So to take advantage of that, this is where I'm driving this point. To take advantage of that, you got to be ready with a marketing net. And this is where you guys come into play. And so I like what you're doing. I do want you to talk a little bit about the podcast show and your involvement with NARPM because that's a big selling point for what you guys are doing. Is I like the podcast show a lot. I mean, you're putting out good content and you're a big time guy in the NARPM community, which means you're giving back. You're willing to help people learn. And you are big involved in the Cal NARPM. So take it from there.
Yeah, sounds good. And so just to piggyback on what you said, a reluctant landlord has been an extinct species for the last 3 years or so. Like we haven't seen that aspect of the market. So all of a sudden, everybody, all the marketing, all the positioning for most companies, and we do that for our customers, have been turned to investor because that's who's hunting, right? That's what the opportunity is. Well, the landlord, as you say, I predict the same thing, exactly right. Over the next 2-3 years, we're going to see resurgence of the reluctant landlord and opportunists like the flippers and folks who invest into distressed properties and then manage them, what have you. So the client types are changing. Is your positioning ready? And so if you don't have your marketing operationalized, right, you have your maintenance operationalized, hopefully, right, you have your accounting, all these things you have in place running a business. Unless you're ready to hire your own marketing team, you need a partner that is able to foresee these things and consult you as well as implement these things for you and then report on the results, right? And so that's what we do. So we started as essentially, content. Like our whole forte was, Marcus Sheridan you, right? Create lots of educational content, put it up on your website and watch the leads come in. And look, Stephanie Gordon, there's many, many names who've made literally millions of dollars on the back of that strategy and nothing else. Stephanie has not done a pay-per-click ever in her life. It's just, so it works, right? It works. And then, so we built, and then next thing, right? Reputation. So we partner with reputation.com. So we solve reputation and provide an automated solution that not only, gets the Google reviews up, but also gives you the pulse of your business. Like, how do you know the customer experience? Well, if you survey every time, after something significant or some client touch happened, right? Then then people are more willing to respond and publish those good reviews and give you the bad ones privately so you can work on them. Okay,
So here's what we want to do now, because I totally understand the background to that, and I think a lot of folks do. We want to hear what kind of products and services you have to offer. So we know you, we understand what you're doing a little bit, but some people might be vague on what you do, what you offer. So I really want you to come clean, not like you're dirty or anything, but
I understand. I'm a marketing nerd, man. I can talk reputation for like a whole podcast with you, and not even scratch the surface with, but I get it. So you know what? Let's do this. Let's just tally it all up. Content marketing, huge, right? Automated reputation management, pay-per-click campaigns and remarketing, Lead Simple, the whole CRM setup, sales process, lead nurturing. That's where your business kit comes in. We're going to talk about that in a moment, where, if you bought or will buy a kit from Brad, who's going to implement it for you? You can go do it yourself, try it, or if you need help, if you are a customer of Fourandahalf with Lead Simple lead nurturing product, dude, we'll build that in for you, right? Social media marketing, there's some life there, but a lot of it is a supporting role to your other stuff. Social media is hugely important for SEO, but it's not in itself a mature channel as of yet. So multi-channel marketing, we do like postcards followed up with Facebook remarketing, that stuff, animated promo videos, branding, logo design, all the usual marketing work that needs doing, the dirty marketing work that needs doing to grow the business. The next thing we're doing, so the next logical step for us, okay, we own all that difficult work, but the end point is the website, right, Brad?
Right.
This is where the conversion happens. In a lot of ways, folks will convert on the landing page for Google AdWords. There's some aspects to offsite conversion, but most people would eventually come across your site and decide to either hire you or pass.
Yeah.
Okay. That's where everything happens, and this is where the data lives. Here's the biggest gap that we're closing. Right, the biggest gap. Brad, people say data is new oil, right? I mean, how important is your data for your company? Crucial, right? Crucial. Are you taking advantage of it? Well, in some ways, maybe you are. You can provide, I guess, pretty accurate rental estimates and stuff like that because you've seen rental history. But on the marketing side, is anyone collecting all those KPIs, key performance indicators, reporting them back to you, and actually guiding you into positioning your budget to where it makes most sense when you get the best ROI? That's what Fourandahalf does with the website technology and the website product as a sort of our next step in our evolution. Is we close the gap and put it all together. And I know I'm talking a lot, but I actually have a point I want to get to. And so now we own and are responsible for our customers, full-on marketing, like the dirty doing marketing service and the conversion website point. Because of that, we're able to guarantee results, because now you operationalize your marketing, you give it to the vendor that can actually deliver, and the vendor, us, and give you, the property manager, a guarantee on the performance level based on your market, your competitive analysis, based on where you are, based on your goals. There's a lot of things go into it. We do a deep business performance review. It's a multi-page report that we put together, and based on that evaluation, we're able to provide a guaranteed performance level. So websites really round everything out.
I had a real good conversation with Mike Catalano this week. And this is one of the reasons I reached out to you to do this podcast, because one, I wanted to learn more about the website stuff, but what really set off the buzzers in my head, and this is going to be common throughout a lot of the folks that are listening, is the offer of a guarantee. So you breezed over it real quick. I want you to circle back and really help us understand that, because nobody is doing that. That's really, it's one of those things that's going to make some noise. And so I want you to elaborate that, because I think that's really neat. That means you're putting your money where your mouth is on what you can do for a management company.
Correct. And so the guarantee is our commitment to performance. The fact that, look, if you let us handle the digital aspect of your marketing, setting up the sales process, as long as you have qualified staff that can close the business, like BDM or someone who answers the phones who are competent, right? You are guaranteed the performance and growth of your business to the point where you see it's fit. And we build part of the business performance review. I build a financial model that basically says, here's your customer acquisition cost, here's your lead acquisition cost, here's what you should expect to spend, this is what you're going to get out of it, this is the capital return on capital. Like, I built this whole thing out just like that and say, okay, here's now it's your choice. You want to go, you want to grow this much, and now all of a sudden you can staff to growth, because again, that growth is guaranteed. And if we don't deliver, so there's might be a question like, hey, what happens, Alex, if you don't deliver? Well, if we don't deliver, we work for free until we do. And that's also significant, because we're talking, discounting, $1,200-$1,300 a month, and putting our money where our mouth is.
I like it. I like it.
It all starts with the website. The website is such a crucial point, and the data that is not being collected right now, not being collected by anyone. The data that's not being collected on the pre-sale side. Now we truncate it all into the KPI dashboard, right? We call it business performance dashboard. And you'll see for your Austin office, right? You'll see how that actually plays out. You'll be able to speak to it on your next show or something like that, right? But that data becomes a driver for the decision. So we don't just knee-jerk react that we need to put up a landing page on your website because you feel Long Beach is all of a sudden your next area and it's going to do well. No, where's data, right? Maybe Long Beach is a good area, but there's maybe a sub area there that actually will perform better. And so it's much better to invest your development time into building out that page. I'm just giving you a small example.
Yep. So
acting on data and collecting data and giving the data access to the owner of the company.
Joe, let's circle back a little bit. So what you talked about with the Austin office. Now I'm going to explain the whole thing, because not a lot of people know the history. So we own a management company here in San Antonio, but we're also expanding in Austin. We have about 5 homes under management right now. It's not a gigantic thing, but we're using a term I learned from GK Houses, Matt Whitaker, is we're greenfielding Austin. So we're starting from scratch. Like, we're walking into a new market. We're already established in San Antonio. We're walking into a new market, trying to get a real strong foothold there. And so our Austin website, we're converting to you guys. We're going to let you guys take on that site and make all the cool, fun changes you want. So one of the things I do want to talk about that one is the free market estimate providers. Okay, we talked about it yesterday, and I wanted you to bring that up because what I've seen in other websites, and I think it works very, very well, is to have some sort of automated free market estimate capture. And you mentioned 2 sources yesterday. I think it was RentRange and RentFacts. So talk to me how that integrates and where the benefits are in using something like that.
So there are 2 ways of doing this. If I may actually have Michael Lushman here, Director of IT Services, maybe he can speak to this. There are multiple providers of RentFacts and RentRange. Those are the main ones, but there's multiple ways of doing it. Michael, do you mind taking it? Sure.
Michael, how are you today? Thanks for coming on. Michael.
Yeah, I appreciate it. No, it's nice being here. So with respect to RentRange and RentFacts and connecting in to get some type of market analysis, our approach tends to be, like Alex said, first of all, there's 2 approaches, right? One way is you offer an opportunity for a client on site to get a free rental analysis report. One way is to directly pass them to the provider and have that report delivered directly to the prospect. That's one solution. Another solution that we've done for a number of our clients that's worked very, very well and they're very attracted to has more of a relationship orientation. And the idea is to put the property manager between the delivery of the report and giving the report to the actual client. So in other words, the user experience is I request a report online. The property manager then sees that request, is able maybe to tweak it. Maybe they need a little bit more information. They get that information, they pass it to the provider, RentRange or RentFacts, and then they get that report back, and then they have an opportunity to directly connect through email and say, hey, I know that you were interested in a property. Here's the report you requested. Are there other things that I can follow up with you and talk to you about? So the orientation on the website and the behavior on the website is to build relationship and partnership. So it's not that the automated solution will work, but the idea is really focusing on that connection.
So I missed the part. Is this an option to be automated where it's a set and forget thing?
Correct. So that is one solution. That's another way of doing it. And some folks, we've had a small percentage of partners that like that solution. But generally speaking, what we're finding from a lead orientation is that this other option, which is a pass-through, creates connection and conversation.
I love it. Because that ties right into what we're offering here from the management side, management show, is the Business Development Toolkit. And that is going to have all the lead simple follow-up plan that Alex can help implement with his team. And I got to tell you, the free market estimate provider has worked very, very well for us, because it gives you also an opportunity to Google the heck out of that. I mean, automated free market estimate, free instant result, free market estimate, whatever keyword you want to throw out there, it starts to draw in that traffic through those Google searches, through the Google headlines. And so that's a really neat solution. And I tell you what, it's so cool when you see the biz dev team call that particular owner and they start going through that. Well, you almost hope it's wrong. Here's a funny thing about this, guys. I know Michael, you probably get it. You almost hope the rent range is wrong, because owners want to tell you it's wrong. They can't wait to tell you, my home is not worth $2,000, it's worth $2,200, and here's why. And it's
right.
like they can't wait to tell you that.
It's a tool to create connection, right? That's the idea. That's what you want, is to create that relationship and to do it quickly and efficiently. So yeah, absolutely agree 100%.
Very cool. Very cool.
So thanks, Michael. Yeah, that works really well. But one important point for a takeaway for your listeners, okay? A takeaway. This is a big point. However you design it, whether you want to be in between of that report or you want a fully automated delivery, you have to present it on your website in a way that the value is easy to see. You have to have a little bit of a picture of what they're going to get, a little bit of a description of what they should expect. Like, it should just don't provide. I see some people just provide a little form. Get your rental report, free rental report, and there's nothing there. But you have to. This needs to be what's the right word? Merchandised.
Okay.
I like that. Yeah, merchandised.
I do want to talk a little bit more about the KPI dashboard you mentioned, because that's really intriguing. And a lot of us want to know the effectiveness of all the stuff we're doing. And sometimes it's almost impossible to track. It's very difficult to say one lead source is working versus the others. I know you can track where the leads come from, but it gets a little murky and it's never put together in a clear format. So this is where, because you guys are tracking all the leads, not just one lead source. You're tracking kind of everything. You can also do the tie into Lead Simple. You're pulling up a potential KPI report on the quarterly basis. And then here's the kicker. You're actually reviewing it, saying you are weak here, you are strong here, we need to do this, we don't need to do that. And that's the analysis that you guys and your team is going to offer, that I think could be the gold. I mean, that really is the experience. I mean, that's why people hire property managers, because we have the experience of actually interpreting what the market is doing. So this is the same thing. You're interpreting what the landscape on the SEO world, the interweb world, you're interpreting that for us, so we can come in and say, yeah, we need to bump up our pay-per-click ads, or no, we don't, because we're organically good, or we're not on the pins very well, why not? Then you start asking questions, how's your social media look? Maybe that's the reason. All those things are coming up on the KPI side. So I want you to spend a little bit more time talking about that on your end.
Oh man, that's my candy, bro. That's my candy. So here's the thing. Marketing data is abundant. It's millions of bytes of like everything. Like, if you look at your Google Analytics, Brad, like I can't still make heads and tails of what's what. Like, time on site, time on this page, visitors per page, visitors right now. There's just so much. And for Google AdWords, I mean, don't even get me started, man. From cost per click to conversion rates to quality scores, dude, there's just like a lot of stuff that are operation level stuff that operation folks like my account managers need to know. And so this KPI dashboard gives us a window so we can be proactive, not reactive. I don't want somebody calling me and telling, hey, Alex, my cost per lead doubled in Phoenix. What's happening? We want to be proactive about that. And so that's data for us. But for you, for a customer, it's important to translate I would say thousands of pieces of data into 9 or 10 that are absolute, sort of like that you can base your decisions upon. And once you have that data, there's also doing, right? And so what you mentioned, that going through a quarterly review of a KPI dashboard is important, and it is, but how about having the development hours already built in? So the outcome of that meeting is what we're building next, right, for the website, that you don't necessarily have to pay extra for. Yeah, if the scope is giant, if we build in a new location site, let's say, Brad, you decide to go, I don't know, to Houston, right, and compete with Steve Rosenberg.
Yeah, well, no way.
and then so that's a different scope. But if we decide that your Austin site has other opportunities, or let's call you rolling out value add services, you EXP Realty, whatever it is, that is part of the fee and part of the experience. Is not only data collection, data presentation, but action against that data.
I like it.
Those are the key value propositions.
Very good. So a lot of this boils down to how much is it going to cost? How much a month? How much upfront? It's like buying a car. I mean, everyone wants to go in and dealership and say, how much down? How much a month? You know, so one thing I do like about what you have developing on your site is pretty much full transparency from what I can tell. And if you have some secret squirrel scope that you want because you want 5 different websites in 5 different markets with 5,000 pages, yeah, that's going to cost more. But the site that's going to be most effective, you guys have kind of nailed down to a value add proposition. So I want you to kind of spend some time talking about that, because this is where everybody's, curious. Okay, they're interested, they're looking at potentially a site. There's a couple of providers out there, but now they want to look at yours. So this is where, you have an opportunity to talk to us.
Yeah. Thank you, Brett. The strength is SEO, but our points of difference is conversion. Like the SEO is our core focus, and yeah, it's going to be difficult to rank on a brand new Austin site, right? But we're going to do our damn best. And we'll start with smaller keywords with smaller volumes, and we'll start seeing organic traffic there, and then it'll start propagating, right? There's ways we can do that. But the conversion, once you earn that click from the right person, converting them into a prospect, converting them into a potential customer is key. There's just an art and science to the whole conversion language. And so just not get too deeper into the nerdy stuff. We have 3 different website levels. All of them have that SEO and conversion element, but they're structured a little bit different for different life cycle of the business. The first one is a traction site. I think it's like $2,000. We have it on our website. If somebody clicks, that's all there. As you said, fully transparent. We've always been that way. $2,000, and it's $139 a month. You get your basic site up, your support, so you can focus on growing your business. Does not come with a continuous improvement, does not come with a dashboard, but that can be introduced later as the business matures. Startup, that's that, right? The next level is $3,450, $3,500 essentially, without the $50. That's $299 a month, and that's full on, I'd say anywhere between 200 units and 500-600 units. If that is business size, that's a site for you. It can be customized to accommodate larger portfolios, no problem, but we have a different website for larger portfolios that actually is a better fit. But so there's that $3,450. This is where most people will play in. $299 a month gives the support, the security, the standard hosting, the standard, but also comes with a dashboard, and it comes with the continuous improvement process. So dashboard and brains right there. And the last level is, we call it Elevate. That's $6,000 upfront, 10 plus pages. That's more of an advanced site. We're talking market leader site, okay? If you were doing your San Antonio website, that's market leader site. We're working with a number of market leaders that we're about to launch the sites. That's kind of where you want to be. It's not for beginners. And then there's the last concept that is not on the site. We call it a hub website. A hub website is for the multi-location. That's why I asked you, Brett. That's why I asked you if you plan multiple locations. For somebody like Scott Brady, that would be for him. It's a multi-location site that actually is one giant site that has micro sites built in, and each location will have its own experience, its own own attendant experience, its own functionality, but it all lives in a single ecosystem to help it propagate and rank quicker. So when you're a larger business and you are going after multiple locations, that's a custom site as well as a hub site. That's different price level. It's specific to the customer.
So when people are interested, so people just reach out to you and they say, "Oh, I'm interested in I don't know what." I mean, essentially, your team does an analysis of their site. You come back with a written proposal. You talk about it. You make sure they understand it. Yeah. So one of the things, Alex, I want to bring up was the assessment of the website. So you did one of these for us, and essentially, you're going to look at the entire site. You're going to come back with a written proposal. You're going to go through it with us like on a Zoom call or a Ring Central call, and you're going to be able to explain that to us with screen shares. And so it's a really good process that you kind of show us what's going on. Pretty fascinating when you start looking at the KPI metrics behind the scenes, because not a lot of us PMs are that techie, but once you kind of see it and understand it, it really does make sense. And so I also wanted you to talk about the discount you could potentially offer some of the clients out there that are listening is you have a BRAD code. So talk us through that.
So we have a Brad code, right? We have a Brad code, and that is it's a fairly massive discount, but we do want to show the industry our intent to be very serious about delivering serious outcomes, and our sites are delivering those kinds of numbers to our customers who already got them. But it's $500 off any product, right? Any website product. Excuse me. Let's be precise here. $500 off any website product that if a customer mentions code Brad or emails that, whatever, however method of contact we have, that's the discount we offer. We love you. We want to support your cause. We want to. You have a lot to give to this industry, and we didn't even get to the fact that I have my own podcast and the Property Management Show. But I think we cross-pollinate on our audience quite a bit. I think maybe 80%, right, would know me and know you, listen to our stuff. We're not mutually exclusive. We're mutually inclusive because, hey, you need to be on top of your game and listen to these kinds of educational stuff. And Jordan's podcast, let's bundle that in. PM Growth Summit, it's there to uplift the top echelon of property management entrepreneurs.
Yeah, great little segue. I want you to talk about the PM Growth Summit. So I was able to attend the last 2 years. I was able to speak at the last one. I thought it was a really good conference. I want you to kind of give us a briefing on the next conference because I think people are starting to talk about the buzz.
Yeah, we sold. We already sold out of our early bird, or almost sold out of our early bird, without really putting the program on the website or the speakers yet. But believe me, Jordan and I are heavy into interviewing. I mean, once we announce the speakers, we have people will absolutely find this a game-changing conference. Because, we're not there to speak at the conference ourselves. And we've done a few of that. And we're going to host. This year we decided are just going to host the conference. And we're going to have the speakers speak. People like yourself, like Steve Rosenberg, but also people outside of the industry we've never heard of. People who write, I'm just going to give you a little hint here, amazing books that changed the way I do business, right? And this is an amazing book. And right now, so yeah, I'm not even going to go into that yet because nothing is locked in place. But the conference this year, this is where first year was really awesome because people didn't know what to expect, and it was the best ever. Second year, we sort of sophomore blues, right? Third year, this is when we're going to deliver.
I like it. And this is going to be what time frame and what city?
April 17th through 19th, Austin, Texas, baby.
Austin, right up the road. Gotta love it. Okay. Well, I might have to step away from the golf course to come up. We'll see. I'll debate it.
Challenging. You and Mike got a lot of both, man. You guys should hang out more often.
Yeah, he's a SoCal boy. I don't know. He might clean the floor with me on his golf game. But this has been a great episode. Any last minute comments you want to throw in there?
I appreciate everything you do, Brad. It's been a pleasure working with you. We know each other for years and years, and I look forward to hanging out with you at the National NARPM Conference in San Diego. We're going to play golf. I never play golf, but I'll try to hang. And I appreciate everything you do. And I hope this relationship will continue growing. And I hope we'll wow the customers who come to us with the code Brad. We'll build the websites. They'll be really happy. They'll grow their businesses. And we'll continue operating our shows, our conferences. And just want to thank you for all you do, man, for the industry and for this partnership.
I basically facilitate conversations. That's really all I do. I'm very excited to see what you can come up with on the Austin site. I know you guys will be working on that in the next few weeks, months. That's, I think we're going to make a real hard, sincere push. We just started that this year, so it's brand spanking new. And so, again, we only have a few homes under management. Once we see that kind of greenfield up, to use that term, I think we're going to be very excited. I mean, it's a great market. There's plenty of room up there. And, I think we just got to be ready for the next shift. And if you have your net cast, I think you're going to do very well in the next year to 2 years. So just get out there, get prepared, and be ready. Implement that Lead Simple plan right into the website. And your leads go straight into the Lead Simple plan, automated text message going out, automated emails, instant follow-up notifications for you so you can turn around and follow up with a new client. Workflow on that Lead Simple dashboard. I mean, it's not a plug for Lead Simple, but that's been a major thing for us because there's other CRM platforms out there. You can go get some of those sales top producers ones, and they're so complicated, it's almost a nightmare. But I think that's a really good solution that's just enough to give you the practical stuff you need on that CRM side. So appreciate you coming on. We're definitely going to be seeing you up in the PM Growth Summit right after the NARPM National event. So thanks again, Alex.
Thank you, Brad. One parting word of wisdom. One thing, real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys listening right now, do yourself a favor. Operationalize your marketing and sales. Have a massive, massive win over the next 2 or 3 years. Sail into the sunset or continue running your companies. The opportunity is now. Thanks, Brad.
This episode of the Property Management Mastermind Show is sponsored by Mark Cunningham of Grace Property Management. Now, Mark has created some amazing products for property management companies. We have implemented his systems and his business income streams into our business here, and I can personally recommend them. If you're in the property management business, I encourage you to visit their website, as you'll definitely find a product that will improve your business. I know Mark personally, and just a small investment to pick up one of his golden nuggets could earn you a return many times over. To learn more, go to propertymanagementsystem.org. Again, propertymanagementsystem.org. And to get a 10% discount on all of Mark's products, use the promo code BRAD, B-R-A-D.
This has been a podcast episode by PropertyManagementProductions.com. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast, leave us feedback, and come back for our next episode.